I swear to God, man, I don't even try to do this sometimes. It just fucking happens. So, for those of you who don't know what's going on the interwebs today, Konami, well, not today, it actually happened quite a fair bit ago. I'm just not really, reading gaming news as it comes out. But this happened when I fired up my copy of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Now, of course, some people aren't playing the game anymore. Obviously, it's fairly old at this point. I'm just a huge fan, so I play it from time to time. And, I'm starting to get back into it, basically 100%ing my PS4 copy. But one of the things, as great of a game I find it is when you start it up, it basically gives you a bunch of these little pop-ups, like, fucking going on to an Elite Daily article or some shit like that. It's got to give you like 17, 18 little layers of clickbait before you can get to the actual meat of the story, the game that you so desperately want to play. And I caught something interesting. Microtransactions have an expiry date. What the fuck? Okay, just what the fuck was added here? Okay, so allow me to continue on here before I have a fucking total mental breakdown. If you're in Japan and you have a Japanese copy of Metal Gear Solid 5, your microtransaction currency for Metal Gear Solid 5, their mother base coins or MB coins, expire at 6 months. Now, as far as I know, I think the individual coin expires after 6 months. So say you had like 300 coins like 1 month, and like 5 months later you got like 300 more coins and you'd have 600 total. A month later you'd go back down to like 300. I don't know if that's how it works, but regardless, you lose your coins after 6 months of obtaining them, if you don't spend them in any case. Now, for me, microtransactions are fucking stupid in a video game, alright? But a lot of people argue, if you've got the money to spare around and you just want to get the rewards in the game without really playing it, then go for it, spend the money. And hey, if that's what gets you off, man, go do it. I don't really care, man. If that's the thing that you're going for, go do it. I think it's fucking stupid. I wouldn't pay for the game to play itself, so I don't buy microtransactions. But some people just buy microtransactions because they might want to get something a little earlier, or it's justified that they want to spend it on cosmetic items. That's all cool and dandy, okay? Hey, I bought a $1, costume for certain games here and there, okay? Alright, so I'm just as fucking guilty as some people. But as far as speeding up activities in my game, like, fucking mobile Farmville shit, I don't really do that, okay? That's not me. But whatever, man. If it gets you off, it gets you off. Now, here, for our Japanese audience, apparently if you buy microtransactions, they can expire. So the money you put into the game, that's extra, right? The money you use to get some extra unlocks in the game, that's all gone after 6 months. And apparently Konami finds that it's somehow logical to do something like this. Now I have to explain what MB coins are, okay? As far as Metal Gear Solid 5 goes, mother base coins are used primarily to unlock multiplayer, sort of camos or appearance items and shit like that. Nothing game-breaking, of course. It's purely cosmetic as far as, I've really played the game and unlocked it. I don't know if it truly, becomes cancerous later on in the online front. For the single-player portion, the FOB forward operating base metagame, you actually can use mother base coins to speed up dispatch missions, so you can obtain things a little faster. You can speed up base development or speed up online development items faster than they normally would. And that's all fine and dandy. Or you can use your MB coins to buy another forward operating base. And this doesn't allow you to really break the game for you. It's not a cheat per se. You don't need to own any forward operating base, as far as I know, to get like 100% completion of Metal Gear Solid 5 or the max soldiers. I mean, if you really wanted to play it offline without, submitting yourself to the Konami devil, so to speak, you can basically grind the game, level up your soldiers in one way, give them, medals and all that kind of shit, and that's about it. That's the game itself, so you don't need mother base coins to actually play Metal Gear Solid 5. Let me make that very abundantly clear. The game is feature full, the game comes complete for its audience, and you can play the game without subjecting yourself to any of their microtransaction practices. So let me clear that up for you. So why would anybody buy MB coins? Of course, maybe to, upgrade their base a little faster, do all that kind of stuff. It's up to you, okay? It's up to people why they choose to buy it. Again, I find it stupid, but that's just like my opinion, man, okay? My opinion does not reflect anyone else. If you find a reason to justify buying microtransactions, whether it be in Metal Gear or Assassin's Creed or Need for Speed, or any game that has come out recently, all the power to you, okay? I'm not going to control how you game. That's up to you. If somebody says you're a fucking retard for doing that, tell them they're fucking stupid, okay? Because that's not right, all right? But whatever. This is not about Mr. Moral Man getting about microtransactions. This is about the bullshit that Konami thinks they can get away with, okay? You know, it's fair enough. I hate Konami as a company already. Fuck Konami, okay? Fuck everything about them. Alright, Konami can just fucking, you know, go do their pachinko, slot machine, gambling route, all they want. I don't care. Alright? You know, hey, if they make a great Metal Gear game, sure, I might bite, but whatever, I don't leave my hopes and dreams behind on them anymore after the departure of one of the lead staff members behind the project. But regardless, Metal Gear Solid 5, whatever your feelings on the game are, it doesn't really matter. I think the game's great. Some people think the game's a piece of shit. It's all fine and dandy. But the idea of microtransactions expiring scares the ever-living fuck out of me. And the only close parallel I can make to this is when I used to take public transit, like, primarily, especially when I was going from place to place. I still do. Public transit's great when you want to get somewhere without the hassle of driving or traffic jams and shit like that. I would use a card that you could preload, and you could get a cheaper fare from it. It wasn't that much, like it wasn't, you know, super huge, like what, 50 cents off, I think. But the thing is, you could preload the card with like $40 and you'd be good for a month. I would do that. Now the thing is, I actually got really pissed off once because I didn't use that card for half a year, 6 months. And I loaded it with $40 at the time, just because, you know, I would go from school back, other places, wherever I needed to go to, especially when I was in like Toronto and whatnot. But the thing is that I wasn't using it for a while. I was primarily driving from place to place. But the thing is, after 6 months had passed, without any notification or email, when I needed to use public transit again, when I needed to go, you know, in the city and whatnot, the card read as $0, meaning that the $40 I'd initially pumped into the card were all but gone, because 6 months later that would expire. And as far as I know, it's apparently allowed over here, which it shouldn't, because that's a fucking problem, but whatever, that's a whole different thing for another time. But here you got a game which already has a negative connotation considering the ethics behind the company. And for them to go pull this shit off is the biggest slap to the face for anybody. And the thing is, if Konami gets away with this, and the thing is they are, because people are for some fucking reason still buying microtransactions for this game, even from Japan, people that are vehemently getting fucked over. And I know I'm yelling over here, but it really aggravates me when people just fucking take the cheese when they really shouldn't. If people keep buying MB coins in Japan, and the thing is, as far as I know, it doesn't come here legally, because in Canada, Europe, and the US, if you exchange money for microtransaction currency, that's sort of like exchanging for credit, and they're not legally allowed to take that credit away. I'm not so sure on that, I'm not a lawyer, but as far as I know, that's the reason why it hasn't come over here. But it's in Japan. Okay, so after 6 months, you lose your fucking shit. And some people defend it, like saying, if you buy microtransactions, you should be spending them within 6 months. Well, no, okay? It doesn't matter when you should spend them, dude. I could spend that stuff 2 years later if I felt like it. The fact is, for that stuff to expire, for companies to get away with shit like this is downright repulsive. Let's say this stuff took off. Well, what's stopping Ubisoft, who pretty much puts microtransactions in almost every game that they release, from doing this? Okay, what's stopping them? You know, and what's stopping companies, other companies, what's stopping Rockstar from potentially doing this as well? Let's say you bought GTA dollars from microtransactions and you didn't spend your money on whatever item or frivolous shit was in the game, and they could just expire it or some shit like that. And who knows? Alright, now of course, it would give the company a bad image, but clearly Konami doesn't give a shit about their image at this point. I mean, let's be honest, look at all the shit that they do. Companies probably wouldn't do this again, because it would just fucking deliver a salty taste in everyone's mouth. But the thing is, I have to talk about this, because if this carries on, and I need to alert some people too, because there is a Japanese audience of Some Ordinary Gamers, and a lot of that audience does like Metal Gear Solid, and the thing is that they violently get fucked over like that. They basically get this treatment, okay? Aside from a game obviously being cut of its content well before being released, for Konami, as shitty as they may be, to have the audacity to put limits on DLC and credit that we've purchased for a game, and sending a message that if this is successful and it works and people still are gullible enough to buy money and microtransaction currency, other companies can very easily do this kind of shit. And the thing is, we need to stop it right now. Gaming has already hit many points of awfulness as time has went on, okay? You know, DLC was pushed well past its fucking prime at this point. Microtransactions have become the norm in paid-for $60 games. And God knows what else kind of practices we're dealing with. Season passes, I mean, I still remember the Battlefront season pass bullshit. And at this point, what else can be said other than a fair warning? So let me know what you think about the Konami microtransaction bullshit below in the comment section. I'd really love to leave. That's what I love about these videos the most, is seeing the dialogue and discussion in the comment section below. And if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. This is me, Mudahar, and I'm out.